This is Eli Bosnick, and you're listening to the All About Nothing podcast. And hey, Barrett, happy birthday.
The All About Nothing podcast may have language and content
that isn't appropriate for some.
Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome, Nothingers, to the All About Nothing podcast. I am Barrett Gruber, joined by Mr. Zach King. Welcome, Zach.
You were wise to introduce me because I was going to forget.
Yeah, I figured this is what I'm going to do from now on because ultimately, sometimes I like to play. Sometimes I'll play the waiting game just to see how long it is before you.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm Zach King.
Well, I'd like to thank Bill Kimmler for keeping the seat warm.
He does. He keeps it warm, but I introduce him too because,
yeah.
you know.
I've been listening to the Thursday shows.
Tuesday, Thursdays. You got to listen
Tuesday,
to
Thursdays.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just want to make sure.
I only listen to Thursdays.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Bill and I, yeah, because we're talking about the weekend. Hey, we're almost at the weekend. Bill Kimmler and I hosted Bill Kimmler, of course, hosts a Black, White, and Blue in the South podcast with Dr. Jamil Brooks. We host every Tuesday and Thursday morning at 5:30. We go live. Basically, I don't really know what it is we do it for, except just to feed our egos. Because
you talk about things from all the way from the what was it, Stephen King obsession, the weirdest midlife crisis that someone goes through, to certain politics.
Zach's throwing a lot of shade, Bill.
To how much Bill looks like his daughter's boyfriend.
No. Yeah, well, when they looked alike, but that they were very similar. Philadelphia Eagles fans.
Stephen King's fan.
Yeah, that's right. Please subscribe and share the show. That's how we get new listeners. Also,
same birthday too, didn't they? Didn't they have the same birthday?
Same birthday. Weird, right? Yeah. Also, I don't remember when Bill's birthday is, but happy birthday, Bill. I'm sure we missed it. Please also consider supporting the show financially by visiting theallaboutnothing.com and becoming an official Nothinger and proudly becoming an official member. I read those backwards. I messed that up. We will have more details at the end of the show. If you can't do that, please also consider giving us a 5-star review, a like, and follow us across social media. You can find links at theallaboutnothing.com. Real quick, we are almost to St. Patrick's Day, so the likelihood of you being able to order a shirt from ZJZ Designs and it getting there in time for any St. Patrick's Day parties might be lacking, but do check out ZJZ Designs, whether you're looking for the perfect graphic tee to show off for your style or something unique to wear for any occasion. ZJZ Designs has you covered. From bold designs to creative prints, they offer a range of apparel that's all about making a statement. And if you love standing out in a crowd, check out the collection today, ZJZ Designs. Trust us, you won't be missing a thing when you head over to their store. That isn't what this says. I just read it wrong. Trust us, you won't want to miss what they have in the store. ZJZ Designs, where fashion meets fun, no matter the season. Also, Everplay Sports.
You also won't miss a thing in this store.
Everplay Sports and Social is also signing up right now for the Masters of Putt-Putt, taking place on March 29th. You can sign up through March 28th. Do that now. Everplaysocial.com. All right, that's it. All out of the way. Zach, what did we do last weekend?
We were at Coastal Comic-Con.
We were at Coastal Comic-Con. It was a blast.
A lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Do you want to real quickly discuss the elephant in the room?
What is that?
Zach and I roomed together this weekend.
Oh, my snoring. Listen, I've been working to get my CPAP machine. It's been delayed like multiple times for multiple reasons.
No. I will say, so as someone who has suffered from the sleep apnea before, I did, and thankfully I don't anymore. It's definitely something that is curable. You just have to make sure you get it treated. I was not aware as to how scary it was to hear you stop breathing, and then it was only for like 5 seconds, 10 seconds.
This is HIPAA information. I'm going to call the cops if that's cool in this.
I didn't sign a document saying I wouldn't. I also am not a doctor. I will just say I'm mostly just using this as sort of a PSA for everyone. If you do suffer from sleep apnea, get yourself tested. Do a sleep study. It is frightening for your partners. Because
the next night it was better. I told you
it was. I didn't notice that at all.
I was just like exhausted.
I did really appreciate the joke because I don't know. We were walking down the hall and I said that you farted in your sleep, and you looked at you're like, I wasn't asleep.
Because I wasn't.
That was hilarious. That was hilarious.
Yeah, Barrett and I in that hotel room, we had square pillows, which was
the weirdest thing I've ever experienced. I don't understand at all.
And you got 4 of them, so together they equaled 2 rectangle pillows.
Yeah.
But in the course of the night, it's just 4 pillows that go everywhere.
And yeah, exactly. My 4 pillows were like the first night. Of course, I had 1 pillow under my head and 1 pillow over my head.
Yeah.
But there was no way to like find any real level of comfort. So, comments that I would leave for the sleep in Wilmington, North Carolina on Market Street is maybe real size pillows.
Rectangles.
It was a little odd. But yeah, we were at Coastal Comic-Con last weekend. Thanks to the invite, of course, of Donald Brock Jr. and the rest of the staff, Steve Powell, Amy as well. That it was a lot of fun, and also I want to thank them for accommodating us like they do, and putting up with the fact that I am insufferable when it comes to being out in public representing this podcast, because I think that I referred to myself and Zach as the talent so many times.
It wasn't a lie, but
yeah, but I did it so many times. But I know I did it last week, but I do really appreciate all of the hard work that Brock and his entire team do for these things. Also, we left our banner up there. So that has been transported back to Columbia, and we will get that back before the next one. Because
I'll tell you what, one of the funny things that went on whenever we would get to a prickly representative for just say it, Sam celebrity guest.
Yeah, Sam Witwer's handler.
Yeah. You basically run through the Rolodex of like, we're with the con, like, and show him the badge, like staff guest. And then he's like, I don't see that in the contract. Well, then maybe we're not with the con, and this has nothing to do with it.
So I found out afterwards, in talking to Brock, that it is part of the contract. So that is something that, from now on, it is definitely going to be part of our negotiating when it comes to talking to them, that they have, there's something in the contract, and I'll make sure that we get a copy of that so we can show them. Says, hey, this is your talent agreement for the con. But yeah, Sam Witwer would have been happy to have sat down with us.
Yeah.
But
it's not Sam. Like, it's just the dude's a dick. Like, there's no other way to put it. His manager, while doing this, I guess only way I could equate it, the dude's just an unpleasant person someone did him wrong at some point. It is just giving him an edge that is awful.
Yeah.
Well, I think when we talked to Sam last time, we circumvented him. And I'm pretty sure he was sneering at us down at the end of the table.
We used RH. RH was the one that got us around the end of the table to. Yeah. Yeah. And thanks to RH too. Because he and Frank and Deneen and I still can't remember Deneen's daughter's name, but because I suck with names, but they're always just the biggest smiles on their faces, and they're so pleasant. Also,
we didn't get that dinner though.
We can discuss that. I will say, I also want to thank Ami Bland from the Welcome to Wonderland podcast for being there at the con with us, because she was a huge help in every situation, but just a huge help.
Especially keeping us in line too.
Yeah. Although, and I'll say this, I've said it before. I don't think people need to be told to ignore me when I'm making because when we're out in public and I see things that make me laugh, then I bring attention to them.
Don't ignore Barrett.
mostly the absurdities. I think I can probably count on both hands the number of times over that weekend that someone was told to a waiter or waitress or whatever, ignore him. This is him in public. Ignore him.
Yeah, the waiter, that was funny too. Waitress, whatever.
It happened frequently, but I was asking legitimate questions. I don't remember exactly what the question I was asked, what I asked that time that deserved to be shut down so quickly, but
something about your turkey cranberry sandwich.
Oh yeah, maybe.
I don't remember.
You know what? And ultimately that was probably a weird sandwich to order, not near Thanksgiving.
That's Gabrielle's go-to from East Bay. It's like cranberry turkey.
Turkey and cranberry. Do they put? Do they East Bay? Huh? A little.
Yeah.
Little.
Shout out to East Bay Deli.
Wrong sounder. I was gonna give it the plug bell. So let me see if I can.
We're open for sponsorship, East Bay Deli. I will eat a sandwich live for 10 straight minutes.
You just record yourself doing it.
It's so good. Every bite good as the next. I cry when it's gone.
I could only eat half of the turkey sandwich that was brought out, but it also could have been because I think I ate some of that, what was the buffalo dip or whatever the dip was.
Yeah, that was pretty good too.
Yeah.
And I don't like pico de gallo that they put in there, but the buffalo did away with the soap taste.
Oh, you get soap taste from eating cilantro too?
Yep.
Oh man, you and me. It's an interesting affliction. Like, because
if I had ordered it, I'd have been like, please take off the pico de gallo. We don't like it.
You did an impression of Donald Trump and used the word please at the beginning. That's odd.
Oh, that's true. Take it off. I don't want it. If it's on here, we'll send it back.
No
fruits.
The
whole meal will be free.
No fruits, no vegetables, no.
Just meat, salt, and fat.
What was one of the highlights of, and it could be, you could name anything, but what was like one of the number one things that you enjoyed the most about the Comic-Con?
Definitely when you like a celebrity a lot and you go to meet them, you're like, oh, I hope they're not a dick.
Yeah.
I love Ross Marquand. Anything he does, I think is fantastic, and he is an awesome person. So getting to, for a while on that first day, he didn't have much of a line, so just sitting there and talking with him was a lot of fun and getting to know him, all that kind of stuff, and how just kind he is and willing to facilitate any kind of like requests you had. He's just a grade A person. It's one of those meet someone famous, and I think that was my favorite. And then when the window was closing for us to leave and get him going to a panel and all this kind of stuff, because it was 3 hours away, right?
Yeah.
So that's quite a haul. So like we were like, can we walk and talk with you? And he was like, absolutely, let's do it. And that's what happened. But like all the other times that we're sitting there talking to him for probably a cumulative throughout the 2 days,
half an hour,
like
45 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of that time.
Yeah, we did.
If we had just stuck a microphone on and then like we would have had like an hour-long conversation with him.
Exactly.
Well, as an exclusive, because I figured that was probably what you were going to bring up, I'm going to go ahead and play your interview with Ross Marquand. So this is an exclusive on the All About Nothing podcast. Here we go.
Yo.
What's up?
Hey.
Again.
Hey.
Buddy.
Yes.
Michelin boss.
Michelin, yeah.
I just wanted to ask you, so is Aaron going to come back at some point, or what are we doing here?
We'll see. There's definitely talks of different spin-offs happening right now, but nothing official. So we will see what the AMC gods have to say about that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we'll be there for it.
Awesome.
What voice can you not do?
What's that?
What voice can you not do?
I cannot do Ryan Gosling. I've tried for years. I can't get him down.
No?
He's got this strange, I think he's from Canada. I think he's from Toronto.
So it's pesky Canadian accent.
Yeah, because he's got this strange, like, I don't know, actually. Oh, okay. Should we, maybe, okay, gotcha. Should we,
That is it.
Hello, sorry. Oh, yeah, it's through here, yeah. This is like Spinal Tap.
That's one of them.
Oh, no, go ahead, I'll let you go first. Yeah.
I don't know.
It's probably right. Yeah, exactly.
I'll tell you what, I know where it is.
It's right there.
All right, let's hit it.
Just right there. Okay. And it's, where that door that's opening?
Yeah.
Right there, yeah. So, yeah.
So this is fun.
Yeah.
The other thing I was going to ask you, how do you get in the headspace for all these different Marvel roles? You're like, yes, that one, Red Skull, Professor X.
Luckily, I really just like got to stand on the shoulder of giants. You know, you got Hugo Weaving, James Spader, Cedric Smith, you know, all these great actors who did it before me. And luckily, with a lot of these roles, they didn't want me to reinvent the wheel. They just wanted me to sound enough like them to give the general feeling of these people, but also making it my own, which is great. I think that was the way to go, you know.
And the last one before we let you go, have you had to do an impression in front of one of your people that you were impersonating?
I have a few times. I did Larry David for Larry David. I've done Norman Reedus for Norman Reedus, Matthew McConaughey for McConaughey, and doesn't always go as well as you would think.
You know, you would think maybe some of them take a little slight to it.
A little slight, yeah.
You can't beat
so,
me.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah.
Well, Ross, thank you so much for the time and going on the run.
Thank you.
You're the man.
Thank you, bud.
Yeah, that was great. That was great. You did such a good job. Thank you. I was so proud of you because I could tell you get nervous. You get a little nervous about that.
I'm a genuine fan. Like my hands betray me when I meet someone that I'm truly like I enjoy, like Ross Marquand. Like when I first met him, I was like, "Oh, Ross Marquand."
Yeah. What do I do with my hands? But yeah, but he was absolutely super cool. I really hope that we get another opportunity to hang out with him and talk to him again because I think that we had a ton of questions that we wanted to talk to him about, but the opportunity to actually do an interview with him just didn't come. We do have interviews also with, I did one with Matthew Watterson, the voice of Magneto, that I am still working through editing because I acted kind of dumb at the very beginning. And I need to take that out and such.
No, it was perfect. That was a great interview too. I do want to point out, if you're going to watch the video of that interview, we blind this woman.
Let me pull it back up. Cause, and I'll try and find the spot. So it's
right there.
Right there. Oh, here we go. I'm just gonna,
she's like, bam. And then when we walked past, she's still like in the background, like, like she must have had her eyes just wide open and did not expect this bright light to be there.
Was the light that bright? I didn't think it was that bright,
dude. It's pretty bright.
Well, that's fair. Bright. But like her reaction to it was just like,
yeah, like she stared at the sun for a minute. Then she's walking by in the background and she's still like, ugh.
I mean, you know, I'm walking around with a small mount with a light on it that's obviously in y'all's faces. And but I thought what was really funny about that walk and talk was that like I don't think any of us really knew where we were supposed to go down the hallway to get to it. No, we
didn't. And you did a good job editing because there's one point where I'm like, I don't think it's this way.
Yeah, well, so
Ross was like, "No, we go in right over there. There's the door." And I'm like, "Oh, you've been in there. I haven't gone in that way."
But like as I'm because I'm walking backwards the whole time I'm walking backwards and I'm having to turn my head backwards to make sure I'm not going to run into anybody.
And we're just following a dude who doesn't know where he's going, even if he was looking.
Yeah, and like as we're approaching what I consider to be the last possible door that we need to go through.
Right.
I'm like, all right, I'm just going to stop and we're going to pause. And then I'm going to just point that way. And of course, me pointing that way, Ross was like, oh, is it that door? Subtle, Ross. Very subtle.
You're picking up director's cues and saying them out loud. No wonder you're a voice actor.
It was so entertaining. It was so entertaining.
Very exciting to know that there is a very real possibility that Aaron might show back up.
I am too. I'm excited about that. You know,
he's a beast with that club on his hand.
It makes sense. He was such an important part of the show and the tragedy that he suffered when he lost his husband. Just, you know, I think that's something that makes that character invaluable for everything you could possibly do with him. Bring back Ezekiel. Bring back. I mean, you've already got. The other thing I want to point out when he was telling you the impressions that he's done in front of those people, did you hear him as he was saying, that he had done that? He's done Matthew McConaughey for Matthew McConaughey. He starts to go into the McConaughey voice as he's doing it.
Yeah.
It's like, because I assume he just can't help himself. Like, as soon as he starts thinking McConaughey, he's got to go into that voice.
Well, I wish we would have gotten on camera him doing some voices, but during the time of just hanging out with him, he went through some voices, and you're just watching him like, dude, he did his Harrison Ford, then knock it off.
Yeah.
That one. I did do my Keanu Reeves for him, and he was like, that's really good. Okay, we got a Ross Marquand stamp of approval for it.
Yeah.
We were joking around about that. And he's like, well, with Keanu Reeves, you could tell he's thinking when he's acting. And I was like, I feel like he's trying not to say, whoa.
Whoa.
I keep thinking, whoa. Yeah, I'm back. Like, whoa.
I have to admit, one of my favorite moments was the one that was completely unplanned, and that was getting to meet Tinkerbell, Margaret Carey.
Yeah.
Like the whole way that scenario played out was just epic, because like basically so I think somebody came and told me, said, hey, Amy's looking for you. And I said, oh, okay. So we run back to the table. And I guess I saw Amy down the way and came over, and she said, the original Tinkerbell is here. Would you like to sit down? I said, yeah, absolutely. Not thinking that she was 95 years old, and but then the stories, like I dropped one of the shorts out of the interview yesterday that she was born on May 1929, and 3 days later was the Great Depression start. The bottom dropped out of the stock market. The Great Depression started.
Her parents had to be like, fuck.
Well, she was adopted, so they were dead.
Yeah. Well, her adopted parents still.
Yeah. What happened?
You're like, dude, you can imagine just having a baby and the bottom falls out of the economy as it's never done before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, add that on to the struggle.
Kind of halfway expecting that this year. Not the baby part.
Oh,
well,
God.
you the baby part, but the stock market dropping out. Hey, you work in tire rubber. That's never going away.
No. I was going to point that out too. When I walk up to him, I don't randomly just go Michelin boss. That was an inside joke between me and him, because he was gracious enough to do a video for my BOS team, who is super fans of The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
And so whenever we come back, he'd be like, Zach, the boss. So, because that's our acronym for what I do there.
So did you show the team the video?
Oh yeah, they were ecstatic.
Yeah.
And then again, I was giving shit about who do you not know? He even called you his best friend. I was like, yeah. You notice I didn't say it back? I'm Ross's best friend. Yeah. I have other best friends, okay?
Yeah.
This is funny because they think I literally know everybody. And it just so happens in South Carolina through podcasting, we kind of just do. Like,
yeah, we get a very very unique opportunity to meet people.
Yeah. That's all it is. It's like, I couldn't explain it, but yeah, I kind of do know a lot of people.
You got I sent Zach a text message last night telling him that that an artist that I found on TikTok and shared a song to Zach at very similar time frames. He was listening to the song that I sent to him. And ultimately, I've been having a conversation on TikTok with an individual who is representative of that artist. Mm-hmm. And has asked, would we like to have him on the show? And I was like, yeah. And he says, well, when he's done with his Lyme disease treatment in Mexico, we'll go ahead and get something scheduled. And I'm like, Lyme disease? Let me tell you about Lyme disease. I suffered from Lyme disease for a short period of time, where I went through some of that same treatment, high levels of antibiotics and whatnot. So, I want him over with my tick story.
Oh yeah. God, dude, having to go to Mexico for Lyme disease treatment?
Well, you don't want to do it here in the United States. It's going to cost you an arm and a leg.
No, I don't. I mean, yeah. I mean, he's also from the UK.
Yeah, he's British. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Mexico's got some drugs that even the UK isn't,
Maybe. But when I was in Cancun, what year is this? 2025, 20 years ago. I had suffered a migraine that was pretty debilitating, and they I was taken to a clinic, and even though I was not a citizen of Mexico, I was treated for my migraine, and within hours was fine. Didn't receive a bill. Didn't have anybody tell me that.
You just walked out.
Insurance.
They never got the bill to you.
Well, I asked several times. How much do I owe for the service? Nothing.
Is it socialized healthcare in Mexico?
Yep. Universal healthcare.
Surrounded by affordable healthcare.
Yeah.
That reminds me of the Ron White joke. Careful, this plate is hot. When he puts it in his head.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's and we won't say who it is yet, but this artist, that one song you said that I was listening to, that's a song that could make you, it could make me, get a little emotional thinking about it. Those kind of inner demons and stuff that you can relate to on certain levels of it.
Yeah.
If this ends up happening, that I can't believe that. That'd be fantastic.
I'm excited. I think it's exciting. And
how weird it was you sent me that, and I had just got done like 10 minutes beforehand.
That's crazy. That is, I don't know.
What are the odds? What are the odds?
They're not good. Yeah. So Comic-Con 2025, we've got the dates for the Soda City Comic-Con.
I got to say this too, how awesome your interview with Matthew Watterson was. And the fact that now we're all buddies, particularly you and him. This is the second time we've just got to hang out with Matt Watterson. He's a friend now.
Yeah.
And he's one of the coolest people, just like Ross. Genuine, happy to do whatever, happy to talk with you, just hang out. Yeah, he's a great dude.
Yeah, so we're going to have Brock on the next episode as well, because Brock is going to do a breakdown of the Comic-Con with us, because we can do it as much justice as we can from our perspective, but he did say that he's going to have some news to break on the podcast, the next episode that he comes on. And apparently this is news that even some of his staff doesn't know yet, because I asked them, what's the breaking news he has not told them yet. So,
I wonder if it's that Ross and Matthew Watterson are coming back directly because of us, because they miss us
as they miss us.
And they're doing it pro bono.
I don't think so.
They're actually going to sit at our booth with us and get people get us followers.
I see. And here's the thing is when Matthew Watterson and Ross Marquand and Cal Dodd, when they come to Soda City Comic-Con, they come with a guy that is their handler that does their interviews. So it's the same guy doing the interviews over and over and over.
For the panels and stuff.
Yeah, I would really like for Brock to use us for maybe one or two of those panels, but I don't know contractually, do they have to use the guy that they travel with?
We want your job if you're listening to us.
Yeah. Just hire us. We'll you don't
have to pay me. I'll talk to those damn people.
Those damn people. That'll win them over. So Soda City.
He referred to you as damn people on his podcast.
That's true.
I'll talk to you, damn people.
Soda City Comic-Con 2025 is coming up. That's going to be August 23rd and 24th. This is the 10th Soda City Comic-Con. So I have to imagine that it's going to be a bigger event. I think that I'm definitely going to try and talk, and we'll bring it up when we talk to Brock, but I definitely think we're going to try and get Brock to maybe do some pre-party events, that sort of thing. We've got some event spaces around town that people would love to have utilized for Soda City Comic-Con, like maybe the Wednesday before.
We'll advise him not to do Chick-fil-A because you won't leave the cow guy alone. Another thing from the con, Barrett was harassing the Chick-fil-A cow, particularly the man on the inside. Like the grand conspiracy of who it is, and the cloak and dagger, skull and bones ritual for whomever has to don the cow suit.
So it started out the night before the con started. So Friday night we were at a place, I can't remember the name, but it was a brewery in Wilmington, North Carolina. So they were hosting
under a bridge too.
Yeah, it was under a very creepy bridge.
Yeah.
Many a drug deal has gone down underneath that bridge.
Yeah, like you just panned to the left of the brewery, you could film a drug sequence for a movie right there, and it's on the Cape Fear River right there.
Blue Bloods was filmed on location. So the Chick-fil-A people were there, and when at some point the guy came out in the Chick-fil-A costume, and
They bear it glue like a child.
Because one of the things that I think is extremely entertaining is the fact that when you are a mascot, you cannot speak from inside that mascot's costume. You can't do anything to make any noise. And when no one was around, I walked over to the Chick-fil-A cow, and I put my arm over his hooven shoulders or whatever, and I said, "Hey, listen, there's nobody around. You can talk now." And he giggled. I heard him audibly giggle. The three Chick-fil-A employees that were sitting at the table, they all laughed because they heard him giggle. And I'm like, I made the Chick-fil-A cow giggle. I made a mascot make noise. So then for a good portion of the rest of that, I was trying to get the Chick-fil-A cow to talk through the costume. He didn't do it. But
then when he didn't wear the costume, they all played it off to a T that like, oh no, it wasn't him who was in the costume.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, he wasn't here and he's here now. So
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think the girl that was the director of marketing for the whole thing, that was responsible for the sponsorship for the con, her name was Elizabeth Sawyer. She was awesome. Chick-fil-A definitely has a terrific marketing director in her. She was fun to interact with, and ultimately it was hilarious how well they put up with me. Like I have to believe at this point I am going to be one of the most insufferable elderly people when my time comes.
Yeah, you already are.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And I'd like to say they stick to their guns. Not there on Sunday. Got to steal one of those chairs.
Yeah, that's right. It did not work Sunday.
I found that hilarious. I'm like, you're not working, right? But they probably were getting paid. I take it. So
yeah, I would imagine they were. But they were all good sports about it. When the Chick-fil-A cow was at the Comic-Con, I definitely walked over and harassed the poor guy a lot.
I thought she was going to let you get in the suit for a minute when you were like,
I thought I was going to get there. So, and that's something I've been talking. I'm talking to Katie McRae about who is also a marketing director here in Columbia for Chick-fil-A. I'm trying to see if I can talk her into letting me don the Chick-fil-A costume here. But then miking me up so that what I say inside the costume, I'll be the Chick-fil-A cow that talks. I may try.
Yeah, I think Chick-fil-A will send an assassin after you.
Probably, but it
it's
got
a
me
priest.
Thinking,
throws his rosary around and snipes at you.
How many other mascots in town could I potentially get away with this? So I'm thinking,
the
Mason,
Firefly.
the Firefly.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Cocky. I know some people that I could potentially.
You could try.
I'm going to try. I mean,
after smelling him the last time, like a year ago, I was like, Christ, you couldn't pay me to put that on. Yeah,
that's probably true.
Yeah, the visceral, just nose smells that are going to be happening for you.
I just, in my head, I imagine the scenario of being that I'm wearing like Mason's Firefly costume and taking pictures with kids, and then a kid steps on my foot, and me just flailing off with the obscenities.
I think that Firefly just dropped an F-bomb.
It's going to have to be staged. And obviously anything that is said, or anything that it sounds like I am saying from the costume is going to be mute. It's going to be bleeped. but it would be such a great skit. It
Yeah,
would be so hilarious. And like me walking around in the Firefly costume with my handler, whoever the handler is for the mascot, and me just voicing, what I'm observing as we're walking by. Look at that man buying those 6 hot dogs. I probably, I got to assume he's one hot dog away from a heart attack. Just making comments about everything I see, but recording it from inside the mascot head, which I'm not
kids,
supposed
we
to
could
talk.
take a picture. Did you know you're adopted? Mom and Dad, you didn't tell them. Who better to break it to you than Mason the Firefly?
Brad, the president of the Fireflies, is not going to like hearing this. He is going to shut this down immediately.
He's
know.
Going to keep you away. He's going to keep you away.
You already got season tickets? Guess which games you're going to? Wednesdays. Only Wednesday games. Wednesdays.
And they're going to have that seat up there that's meant for only for Barrett, and you cannot move. And then you have a red flag so everyone knows who you are.
A red flag, too. Shame.
It's attached to you like a go-kart antenna.
And every game they open with shame. The doing shame. And
list off a list of your grievances.
Atrocities.
Yeah. Blinded a Down syndrome person at the Comic-Con, and what else? Groped a butt of an attractive woman in the line. Told children they were adopted. Turns out they were. Really ruined the family dynamic. Didn't
wear deodorant inside the uniform.
Parks in handicap spots when he's just running in.
Really just ruining all due respect for any of these mascots is what I'm trying to get to. I just
accost waitresses with stupid questions at restaurants.
I don't think any of my questions were stupid. I think they were just they were just over their head. It was I don't know. It was very entertaining. The whole weekend was. And thank you, Zach, for being there with me.
No, thank you, Barrett.
It was.
We've been on this adventure for 6 years now? 7 years?
Yeah. Well, 2025. Yeah. So at least since just before 2019. COVID. So 2018, 2019. Yeah. 7 years.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's
so
crazy.
We haven't
to think
gotten
about.
any better at it.
I think as far as you can't perfect perfection,
Yeah, we were already this good. We knew it.
There's limitations.
Now people know.
Well, it's like me and Bill doing that Thursday thing. It's really just to feed our egos. Which I have no ego.
I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Every Thursday and Tuesday, let's turn it on, drive to work, and listen to it because y'all are old as shit and wake up at 4:00 in the morning.
I've had several people tell me that as they're getting up in the morning, they pull us up on TikTok or they pull us up on YouTube and just sit and listen and watch. And I'm like, what we need is more people that when they do it, that they comment during the Tuesday Thursday show because if we get more interaction, then we can include more people. But it's definitely building an audience over the course of the last, I don't know, several weeks of it. Our TikTok numbers have gone from 600 people viewing to I think we topped out at almost 1,800 people at one time. Mm-hmm. So it's significant, and we usually pick up 7 to 10 new followers every time. It's
slowly building. Yeah, it is fun.
And then TikTok's going to go away.
We had our interview videos stolen for the first time, which was fun.
Yeah, that was interesting. It just sort of, I had someone that liked, they liked one of our videos, and I was like, oh, let me go see who this was that liked the video, because it wasn't a follower, or somebody that just signed up to become a follower. And I pull up their profile page, and sure enough, 3 of her video, the top 3 videos on her profile are our video.
Yeah.
And got pulled off of the TikTok. So I thought, it's not. I'm not going to be mad about it. Yeah,
go for it.
I'm not going to be mad about it. It was kind of cool to see, And So we're supposed to record with Brock this Wednesday for the episode that'll follow, and I'm hoping we'll get some pretty inside information on, potentially. I don't. You know what? I have no idea what he could potentially be announcing.
I don't know.
I
think I'm hoping that at least maybe a first guest, because the sooner you let it not be known, the better, the more people.
And what's nice is Soda City Comic Con. So the big differences between Soda City and Wilmington, the Coastal Con, is really the size of the facility. I mean, Columbia Convention Center is a huge facility.
Yeah,
a lot of space. Now, is it the biggest facility? No. I mean, it may be one of the larger facilities in Columbia, but that's the limitation right now. I think Brock would like to be bigger, potentially have more, different, maybe more venues, but that's something we'll talk about.
I don't think there's a con like Soda City around here. Like, you had those other ones that popped up. I didn't hear any stories about those cons.
Well, there's the one that's at the state fairgrounds that was a few weeks ago. And the same thing. Like, I don't hear a whole lot of stories out of those cons. Like, I see some of the actors that they're gonna have. Like, they had Bo Duke. What's his name? It wasn't Luke. It was Bo. He was there. They had several decent stars that kind of you'd potentially want to sit down and interview. But it Soda City just feels, I don't know, it's more
feels official. It feels bigger. It feels more put together.
Yeah.
It feels like everyone comes. The amount of like vendors being there, be able to take a part with the vendors and have that whole room to vendors. It is just fantastic.
Yeah.
Their team does such a good job.
Well, and then shortly following the Soda City Comic Con is going to be the Myrtle Beach Boardwalk Comic Con.
Yep.
I think that we may try and plan our, because we either go up to Charlotte to go to Great Wolf Lodge. Sorry.
Great Wolf Lodge feels like such a National Lampoon's place to go.
It does. The characters and whatnot. There's a very creepy child that they have this whole. Have you been to Great Wolf Lodge before? So at least at the North Carolina Charlotte one, Concord one, they have this. Every night they have this animatronic show that goes on. It may be more often than that, but this show that goes on where there's this child who is scared and lost in the woods, and the animals around him or her are trying to comfort them by talking and singing, which
it's animatronic like Chuck E. Cheese. Like, it's
a little bit like that. But the child comes out of a stump, a tree stump, and like goes up and comes out of the tree stump and then goes back down into the tree stump, but has the most like shark eyes, dead eyed look to his face. So this
child comes out of a stump for all intents and purposes is on the ground.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah. Oh yeah. The stump's standing straight up, and
so the child was in the ground.
There were clearly people around at some point because they cut this one tree and left other trees, which has got to be horrifying for the rest of the trees that can talk around them. Because think about the scenario.
You came out of Bob's corpse. Do you know that little child?
That's what's happening. Is this child is popping up and down from inside the shell of what was left of one of their tree friends.
That was my wife. Yeah.
And they're constantly reminded that their tree loved one was once whole and now isn't.
The trees are vomiting as soon as the child pops up.
Oh my gosh. Just so funny. Oh, but where was I going with that? Oh, so our daughters every year will either do Concord, Great Wolf Lodge, or we'll do Myrtle Beach because it's off season and stuff like that. So I think what we'll try and do is plan for this year we'll do Myrtle Beach Boardwalk Comic Con for the girl's birthday. We'll do it for like a week, and then the weekend will be where I'll we'll be there for the Comic Con, and hopefully Zach, if we can get a hotel room for the whole family, or a resort location for the whole family, and then
when is that?
In October. It's pretty far off.
But my kids will be older.
Well, yeah, but what we do is we drag your in-laws with you as well.
Oh yeah, you got to come.
We'll get a couple suites, and
then I'll be ready for the twins Luke and Leia cosplay.
There you go.
That's what they're going to be for Halloween.
There you go.
Ross Marquand sanctioned. You did think I should have named them that. And I was like, I tried. I pitched it. Didn't work. So, yeah, that may work. It depends. It
Yeah,
depends.
we'll see.
I don't know how tough this is going to be.
Yeah, well,
you may never see me again.
Well, Bill is ready to stand in for you. Bill Fry is ready to stand in for you if it ever does come to that. But Bill has made a commitment. He is going to be our stand-in, and when he can't, then it'll either be Leroy, Steven, or potentially Preach that'll stand. You've got some big shoes to fill. That's I've told everybody.
Some big shoes to fill.
Yes, they have big shoes to fill. I have told everyone that regardless of who it is that's on the show, needs to come up with at least 3 impressions that they need to. They really need to get down. I guess I don't know how much of an update you want to give on Gabrielle and the coming of the twins, but we're 35 weeks this week.
34.
34.
Yeah. And they'll be taken no matter what at 38.
Yeah.
So, so it's kind of like, so we went to the ER, everyone's fine, but they also did every checkable test on these babies. Perfectly fine, perfectly healthy. But like not even remotely dilated or ready to come. So I think that these kids they're going to make it to 38. And now she's not working. So I think there's one more day she's going to do something. I'm like, whatever. But essentially no more working. So this room will look a lot different by the next time you see me.
It looks like you have about a week's worth of diapers behind you.
I do. This whole room is getting. I was thinking about doing it today, but I got a pinched nerve in my neck. Just radiating. Might go see a chiropractor, not doctors. I will never shit on them again if they fix this. I'll tell you that.
And they potentially will, but
or kill me. One of the two.
It's not that you should shit on chiropractors because of what they do. It's that you should shit on them because they are a cult. They are a cult.
Well, you can't call them doctors. You're not a doctor.
You did this. Well, they did the 7 years. If they had one more year, they'd have had it. But no. But yeah, that's how long. That's how long they're in school. But yeah, it's legitimately. I think that they do things that really do improve people's lives. But at the same time, they're a cult. It's a cult.
Like the cracking baby's necks and the dog's neck
or animal. Yeah. When it's when they include animals and stuff like that. I'm like,
your horse kind of has a. Yeah.
Well, look, now your horse just lays down.
He's still alive. He just can't move. I may have paralyzed Seabiscuit. I don't know.
Oh, all right. Last thing we'll talk about before the State of the Union address or the joint congressional whatever that went on Tuesday night for Donald Trump's first showing. He made a big deal over one particular individual that was in the audience, and this was a younger girl that was a volleyball star. Did you see this?
Yeah.
Okay. So he made this big deal about, and it was all an attack on transgender people, yep. Transgender people. And he made this big deal that this young girl playing volleyball had taken a ball to the face and that it had partially paralyzed her. If they had been doing this better than when she stood up and waved both her hands, they probably should have stopped that to make sure that it looked like she was partially paralyzed. But
who is she playing against? Goku? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah. She first of all, I've seen the video of it happening. She was out in one. I'm not blaming her, but I'm giving you some context. She was playing out of position. She was supposed to be playing the front line. She stepped back. She was not flat. She was flat-footed. She was not on her toes. So and having played volleyball pretty, for 10 or 15 years after I moved here to Columbia, you learn how to play volleyball. Well, she did take it to the face. I'll give it to you. And she probably had a fairly significant concussion from being hit in the face. Fine. Within 7 weeks, she was playing basketball.
Yeah.
this whole idea that because she was playing against a transgender female on the opposite team, that's why she was hurt, or that's, I saw the play. It wasn't remotely what Trump described. And
nor were the damn transgender mice.
Right. Transgender mice.
You can't, when that kind of lie comes out, everything they said is bullshit after that.
Oh yeah. It was
$8 million. Yeah.
Transgenic mice. We pay, the United States pays for grants that fund research that uses transgenic mice, which means because these mice have basically they have been given our hormones, you can use human medications that are in testing on these mice and will get basically 99 to 100% similar reactions to what humans would react to, because they have been altered through transgenic science, not transgender science.
Not only was it written in his teleprompter, so there's some writer who's such an asshole that is knowingly doing this, or like Elon Musk's crew literally pass out information off to a bunch of dumbass politicians and passing it off like that's something that's happened.
Right.
Now the whole mass of followers that he has genuinely think that they were spent $8 million on transgender.
Yeah.
That's insane. That is so insane. After that, I was like, dude, the whole thing was pissing me off to begin with, because if you're getting the truth, you're getting shades of it. You're not going to ever get the whole thing. No, even the volleyball player, I was like, well, maybe she's a shit volleyball player.
She definitely did not protect her face. Like she put her hands up like this, the ball hit her right in the face and bounced right off of it. Like there was no reaction at all. Like it hit her in the face and she went down. But like the ball was coming at her. She moved back in defense, and I don't understand why her hands weren't up for it. Like
we all saw Charlie Morton take a fastball to the eye socket.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
yeah.
I'd rather take that volleyball. I don't know what else to tell you.
Poor Charlie Morton.
It's all lies. It's all lies. And then they're so staunchly against fact checking. When did fact checking become like out of place? Like,
well, part of it.
Tell me if I'm right or wrong.
Part of the thing that drives me insane is that, like, if I'm on TikTok live and I have, it usually gets inundated with about, 15, 20 MAGA, big Donald Trump supporters and whatnot, because you can tell who they are because they'll just put in there, MAGA, 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 or Trump, 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 Trump. And,
as if that is supposed to elicit some kind of rage or something.
Yeah.
We know that's what y'all do.
Yeah, well, it doesn't bother me. It's a very creative way of trying to sustain an argument. But they do this, and then they'll put up a comment that says something like, Joe Biden was worse, and it's like, okay, well, that's an opinion. I said, and for you, maybe, I try to take into account all of the possibilities. Yes. Biden had one of the best economies that we've seen, and it grew exponentially out of what was a terrible economy because, and I'm not saying that Donald Trump is completely to blame, but a terrible economy because of the pandemic. You could blame the pandemic on Trump because, he basically shut down the office that was supposed to prepare the White House for it coming. He did offer some really stupid ideas. He didn't encourage anyone to wear a mask. He didn't encourage people to stay home. He encouraged businesses and churches to open up literally a month after they had been shut down. Like he wanted them open for Easter. And guess what they did? They opened for Easter. Where some of the biggest super spreader events were? Fucking churches.
But you had to get to church and put that fucking ash on your forehead.
No, or your money in the basket. That's what it was about. It was about churches, and the governor here in South Carolina did the exact same thing. He said that the churches will be open for Easter, and the reason is because churches were starting to have a hard time financially. You know what? Then maybe you shouldn't be a church.
Yeah, maybe you get some of that help if you paid your taxes too.
Yeah. So, but they come in. So I'll give it to him. yes, the economy from a numbers aspect as a whole looks pretty good for what Biden did and how, but you can't really say a president's responsible for the economy unless there are decisions that are being made that impact it directly, which this week we had, because Donald Trump announced that the Canada and Mexico tariffs were going to go into effect on March 2nd at 12 or 11:59 p.m. or 12:01 a.m. on March 2nd, and they did. And the immediately result was, because he announced it on Monday, the stock market took a dive. On Tuesday, because they went into effect, the stock market took another dive. Guess what he did on Wednesday? He came back and he says, you know what? Mexico's doing a fantastic job of trying to curtail the fentanyl crossing the border. So we're gonna remove the tariffs for 1 month. So we're gonna go through all this bullshit again in a month. He dropped it for Canada too. So we're gonna go through all of
Canada
it. Canada
didn't drop the ones against us, did they?
I don't think so. In fact, they're pulling American liquor off the shelves, which I fully respect.
I don't blame Canada at all.
So we're going to have the exact same thing come April 2nd. And the reason he doesn't want to do it on April 2nd is because he's afraid if he does it on April 1st, people are going to think it's a joke. Like, yeah, you threatening tariffs on other countries, our allies, as an April Fool's joke. Come on, man.
Your whole administration's already a joke. So just leave that out of it.
What adults are celebrating April Fools? Like
the weird ones. I'll tell you this too. When it comes to like MAGA and all that stuff, I would support Donald Trump if he was just an asshole. I don't have a problem if his demeanor was he was such just a piece of shit asshole, but he did good policy.
Yeah.
He did good things that were just like everyone was,
if everyone was benefiting.
Yeah, and if it was not just an opinion that, like, look at him, he's doing such a great job.
Yeah.
But he's an asshole. Then I could suffer an asshole.
Right.
Do it every day. You may work with somebody who's really good at their job, but as a person, they suck. But he doesn't do that. He's an asshole that is incompetent.
Yeah.
Objective was the word I'm looking for.
Objective, yeah.
Eric woke me up to do this. It's joking. Yeah, but if he was objectively making good policies, making good changes that everyone could see, it would be a different story. I could suffer an asshole, but he's an asshole on top of being wildly incompetent.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the MAGA people don't care about that. They think just because he's an asshole, we don't like him because we're liberal or democratic or whatever. It's just insane. I can suffer an asshole. He's just incompetent on top of it.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. It's
and SNL's last Saturday.
Shane Gillis,
and they had Mike Myers showing up as Elon. It was just beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I'm hoping that somebody picks up on the skit idea of having Mike Myers and somebody playing Kanye West, but in the reverse roles. So now it's Mike Myers saying that Donald Trump hates black people. That's the skit I want.
Yeah,
that's the skit I want.
I loved when Mike Myers comes out as Elon with that chainsaw, and the guy playing Trump's like, I love it when he gets that chainsaw right by my head.
So appropriate.
I'm okay with all of this. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. I will not speculate on what hasn't happened yet. I will simply wait for it to happen and then I'll comment on it. Ultimately that's all I can do. But like, same with the volleyball player. Look, I felt bad when I heard, he and I feel bad for, like, somebody brought
bad for her being used as a pawn in this.
Yeah. And then the kid that just survived brain cancer and he made up a Secret Service agent. I thought that was really, really kind and fantastic. But
we're going to cut your funding.
Yeah. But then they turn around and cut funding to childhood cancer research. And it's like, here's your Secret Service badge. Also, no kid after you is ever going to survive cancer again.
Yeah, right.
Like that's essentially what was said. Basically, paraphrasing what was said and then the actions that were done. Just
Now, and that kid was from South Carolina too, wasn't he? Didn't Chapin Police Department make him a police officer?
maybe. Yeah.
I think I'm right on.
Yeah. That does sound familiar. I just don't remember. But
Yeah.
it's
Put it in the comments if I'm wrong
Yeah.
on this, but I think I'm right.
yeah.
He was made a police officer, I believe in Chapin. I could totally be wrong too. Now I feel like I shouldn't have said it, but here I am. It's the internet, and that's how it works now. So let me know.
Go ahead. I thought you were going to say something else.
No, I would say let me know if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Damn people.
That's assholes. That's going to do it for this episode. Thank you very much, Zach, for being here on a Saturday
Thank you,
morning.
Barrett.
Very much
Yeah.
appreciate it. Links to all of our past episodes, podcast platforms, merchandise, and social media available at our website, theallaboutnothing.com. And if you think our financial model of giving away free content and entertainment is silly and you're in the giving mood, why not become an official Nothinger and support the show? Members get early access to this episode as well as exclusive content. Visit members.theallaboutnothing.com or find a link on our webpage. You can also give a one-time donation through the same link. If you'd like to be a part of the show, you can call, leave us a message, 803-672-0533, or email the show at theallaboutnothing.com, or you can join our Discord server. Again, links found on our webpage. Thanks to everybody for listening. You all stay safe, be kind, and
Keep your hands to yourself.
The All About Nothing podcast is a product of Big Media and produced and engineered by me, Barrett Gruber. Thanks to Cake for our intro music, Sick of You. You can follow everything Cake the band at cakemusic.com. Thanks to Muff the producer for our outro music. You can follow Muff on Instagram at Muff the producer. I am Barrett Gruber. You can follow me across social media by visiting Linktree/Barrett Gruber. You can follow Zach King on social media at GarnetKing07. Want to support the show? Visit our webpage at theallaboutnothing.com and become a member. There are several tiers available that give you early access to episodes as well as exclusive content. To find links to our social media, podcast platforms, and merchandise to support the show, as well as past episodes, visit theallaboutnothing.com. If you'd like, you can be a part of the show. Email the show at theallaboutnothing.com, or you can call our number and leave a message. Dial 803-672-0533. If the time between these episodes is more than you can handle, check out our sister shows, including What the Pod Was That with Carrie, Zach, and myself, Welcome to Wonderland with a me, and Black, White, and Blue in the South with Dr. Jameel Brooks and Bill Kimler. Please subscribe and share this show. If you're on YouTube, please hit the subscription button and punch that notification bell. Thank you for listening, and hear us next week. The preceding podcast is a product of Big Media, LLC, and is copyright 2025, all rights reserved.